Hello, welcome to CGTN. This is our special live coverage on the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Si-cang autonomous region. Live from Beijing, I'm Pandong.
And I'm Liu Xin. A very special day for Si-cang, otherwise known as Tibet, as the autonomous region in southwest China turns 60. To celebrate the grand occasion, Chinese President Si Ťin-pching is leading a delegation that will attend a grand gathering which will start in less than half an hour and will bring you the live signal from Lhasa, the heart of the city, which is the capital of the Si-cang autonomous region.
Indeed, and it's a good time to both take a look back and take a look forward. Absolutely. Over the past 6 decades, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, people of all ethnic groups in Si-cang have fully exercised their autonomous rights granted by China's constitution and laws. This region in southwestern China has undergone a historic transformation from darkness to light, backwardness to progress, poverty to prosperity, autocracy to democracy, and isolation to openness.
Over the next 2 hours or so, we'll bring you the ceremony held on the square in front of the beautiful Potala Palace to mark the occasion, as well as a parade presented by people from all walks of life in Si-cang. Now, the unity, the prosperity that Si-cang has enjoyed over the past 6 decades under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party of China will definitely be the highlight. So before we start with the live signal, we would like to tell you about what has happened over the last 2 days. For instance, ahead of the celebration, a central delegation led by Chinese President Si Ťin-pching has arrived in the autonomous region. Let's take a look.
The delegation, led by Chinese President Si Ťin-pching, also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, arrived in Lhasa on Wednesday, receiving a warm welcome from people of all ethnic groups at the airport and across the city. As their plane touched down at Lhasa Kangar International Airport, they were greeted by a cheering crowd. She waved to the people from the aircraft door before descending the air stairs. Where he was presented with a traditional hada scarf as a gesture of respect and blessing. Dressed in festive attire, locals waved national flags and bouquets of flowers, celebrating to joyful music. Crowds also lined the streets to welcome the convoy, with Xi waving back through the car window. During the visit, she met with representatives of officials aiding Si-cang's development, regional leaders, and veteran comrades. He also met with representatives from the police, legal workers, patriotic religious figures, and monastery management committees. In the afternoon, she met with senior officers stationed in Lhasa, along with grassroots models and civilian personnel. On behalf of the CPC Central Committee and the Central Military Commission, he extended sincere greetings to all officers and soldiers stationed in Si-cang before posing for a group photo.
Now for the latest on the big occasion, let's cross live to our reporter Li Jiaming in Lhase. He's been following all the events very closely. Jiaming, bring us up to date.
Greetings, Panda and Liu Xin from the beautiful city of Lhase. This breathtaking city is having a breathtaking day. You can see behind me the atmosphere of the celebration of the ceremony is visible. And because the region is about to celebrate its 60 years anniversary of its founding, Chinese President Si Ťin-pching will also be attending the ceremony. And this is Chinese President Si Ťin-pching's second inspection tour during his presidency to Xizang. The last time was in 2021. These symbolize the party's Central Committee's commitment to the region's development as well as unity. And you can see behind me, the parade is gathering local performers. They are led by festoon floats, well-decorated vehicles. They are gathering, they are about to showcase their distinctive regional and ethnic culture. Among these performers, there are over 4,000 of them. Some of them are new to the stage. They are local herdsmen, local villagers. There are also some senior performers, for example, the inheritors of the intangible cultural heritage coming from 7 municipalities of the autonomous region. They are about to show the world that the achievements they have scored over the past decades, as well as their pride of being a part of this community. Remember, this is a region high on the 4,000 altitude plateau. Its average altitude is over 4,000 meters above the sea level. Over the past 6 decades, the roof of the world has experienced remarkable changes. As you have mentioned that, for example, from autocracy to democracy, if you look at the data from the GDP perspective, from 1965 to 2025, local GDP has increased by 155 folds. Local life expectancy have also increased from less than 40 years old to over 70 years old. Of course, local people have every reason to be proud of, and of course, to parade. As for the festoon floats, as for the decorated vehicles, they are decorated with distinctive local elements. They are about to present to you a harmonious as well as a modernized Xizang. I'm not going to disclose to you too many details of this very performance, so that you will have a very first-hand and very fresh impression to this impressive festive activities. Back to you, and Jiaxi Dele.
Jiaxi Dele to you too. Our reporter Li Jiaming in Lhase.
Jashdila is the Tibetan for greetings and thank you. It's all the very best wishes indeed. This is the day, the season, the occasion to express that feeling, because it's really a joyful occasion. Actually, I was in Si-cang just about 2 weeks ago, so I can clearly relate to what Jiaming was talking about, the atmosphere, the preparations people have been making for this grand celebration. By the way, it is the world's highest plateau, so actually it is not easy for people to travel there, to move around, to carry out all of these activities. You've got to be slow, you've got to take care so that you're not exhausting yourself. But this is actually a very special occasion, because Chinese President Si Ťin-pching has called for building a united, prosperous, harmonious and beautiful modern socialist Xizang. He is in Xizang on the ground to personally participate in this celebration. That shows the kind of importance the central government places in the autonomous region. Let's hear more details of the remarks he made yesterday in Lhase while hearing a work report from the regional party committee and government.
In his meeting with local officials, President Xi Jinping said Xizang must fully implement the party strategy for governing the region in a new era, adhere to high-quality development, and firmly advance the 4 major tasks of stability, development, ecological protection, and border security. Xi highlighted that in the past 6 decades, under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China and with support from people across the nation, Xizang has achieved historic transformation. The region has maintained political stability, strengthened national unity, and made remarkable economic and social progress, joining the rest of the country in building a moderately prosperous society. Looking ahead, Xi urged Xizang to leverage its unique strengths, develop highland agriculture, clean energy, and cultural tourism, while pressing ahead with major projects such as the Sichuan-Xizang Railway and hydropower project in the lower reaches of the Yarlung-Zambor River. He also stressed the need to promote ethnic unity, advance education in national history and language, and guide Tibetan Buddhism to adapt to socialist society. She called for continued efforts to protect the ecology of the roof of the world, improve employment, healthcare, and social welfare, and ensure people's well-being. He also underlined the importance of strong party leadership, grassroots governance, and strict discipline to foster a clean political environment.
Now, exactly how local people are feeling about President Xi's arrival, as well as that of the central government delegation to attend this event, our reporter went on the streets of Si-cang to find out more.
Everyone is talking about the General Secretary's visit, and many people were so moved that they shed tears. I was especially touched when I saw those videos. For me personally, it's even more emotional because my husband is a PLA soldier, stationed here on the border for a long time. I came to Lhasa, Si-cang together with him as part of the military family.
Locals are very happy, and the overall atmosphere is very good. The whole city feels refreshed. Over the past 10 years, Lhasa has undergone tremendous changes. Back then, there were only a few good roads, but now the roads are getting better and better. At the same time, people of all ethnic groups are becoming more and more united.
So we've just heard voices of residents in Si-cang. Now let's turn to a big picture. Si-cang Autonomous Region has witnessed a social and economic progress since its establishment 60 years ago. The region's GDP has exceeded 276 billion yuan, or over 38 billion US dollars, over 150 times higher than in 1965. Public finance has increased by over 1,200 times. The total millage of highways exceeds 120,000 kilometers, and there are nearly 1,400 kilometers of railways in the region. All counties and cities are covered by the main power grid, and every administrative village has access to the internet. The per capita disposable income of urban residents in Si-cang rose 120 times from 1965. The figure rose by nearly 200 times for farmers and herdsmen. Si-cang residents also enjoy 15 years of publicly funded education from kindergarten through high school. And we're approaching that big moment of the grand celebrations marking the 60th anniversary of Si-cang Autonomous Region. And for more on that, let's cross live to our reporter Zheng Yibing. He's standing by at Potala Palace Square, the focal point of this time's celebration. Yibing, give us a sense of the atmosphere there.
Good morning. Now I'm standing at the Potala Palace Square here in Lhasa. It is seen as the world's highest city square, sitting at an altitude of 3,650 meters. Today, around 20,000 people have gathered for this grand ceremony marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Si-cang Autonomous Region. Well, this is a great moment. They have come from across the Si-cang, representing nearly all walks of life and ethnic groups in the region. Many are waving national flags, and some told me earlier how proud they are to take part in this historic occasion. Right behind me to the north is the Potala Palace, the iconic symbol of Si-cang. It has stood through countless moments in history, and today it bears the witness once again as the region celebrates the 6 decades of remarkable development and prosperity. The event is set to begin soon, and Chinese President Si Ťin-pching will be in attendance. Well, this is the first time in the party's and the country's history that such an arrangement has been made, underscoring the Central Committee's strong commitment to Si-cang Autonomous Region and its sincere care for its cadres and people of all ethnic groups here. Well, during the event, a commemorative commemorative plaque will be presented by the central government to the autonomous region. Later, a spectacular float parade will move along the main street here in Lhase, well, just behind me. The floats will showcase the achievements and developments across the Si-cang on 7 prefecture-level administrative areas. While some of those achievements are also reflected in a special set of the 3 commemorative stamps issued for this occasion, while each represents the theme, the unity among all ethnic groups, efforts in ecological preservation, and the region's vibrant prosperity today. Well, these are just a preview of what promised to be the truly historic celebration here in Lhase. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Our reporter Zheng Yibing at Potala Palace Square, the focal point of the big celebration.
I wish I could be on the spot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there is an electric atmosphere in the air. But let's hear some background before we get into the live signal, which will come in less than a quarter of an hour.
Yes, that's right. And we're joined in the studio for more insight by Mr. Chu Chan and Mr. Victor Gao. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Mr. Chu, as we just heard from our reporters, Xi Jinping is leading a central government delegation to attend big celebrations in Lhase this time. And this is the first time in history of the Communist Party of China and the country. How do you understand this formality?
Well, I think this is a great symbolization. It shows that the great importance has been attached to the ceremony, to Xizang, and to the western border region's development in China. Well, in China, we have a very important comment about the Chinese politics. Number one is that if you want the stability of China, you need the stability of the border regions. And the most important thing about the border region stability is the stability of Xizang region. So always in Chinese political life, Xizang has been attached with the highest importance and priority in the national development. Not only currently, I mean in the past 1,000 years, it's always the same thing. Since the Kublai Khan, since the Qing dynasty, Ming dynasty, and all the things you can count on, that Xizang is always been seen as one of the most important regions in China, because we've been seeing the altitude of more than 3,000 meters, and this high ground actually been protecting China from all kinds of dangers. So that's the reason why we've been taking this place really with an importance. And secondly, in the modern era, it shows that the Chinese Communist Party actually been reforming, revitalizing the whole region. Look, in such a highland with 3,000 meters high, barren, cold, thin air, this is basically not fitting for people to live in a large scale. Just take a look at the rest of the world. In similar geography of the world, all these kind of the places with the landlocked, with such a bad geographical conditions, it's always a forgotten, remote, poor area. But when you go to Xizang, as we just heard, you see modernized infrastructures, super modernized infrastructure, second to none, same standard like Beijing and Shanghai, and you see 160 times of the increase of the GDP, more than before.
Indeed, the changes are tremendous. Gentlemen, we'll be getting back to you very soon on this. And now, for more insight on this, let's cross live to Tibetan scholar Lhasa Dangzhou. He's in Kangding, the capital of Ganzi Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture in southwest China's Sichuan province. He's also the dean of the School of Marxism at Sichuan Minzu University. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor. So we've been talking about the big achievements reached in Xizang Autonomous Region in the past 6 decades. As an ethnic Tibetan, what impresses you the most?
At such significant day of Xizang, it is really breathtaking and excites very much, especially top high central delegations around to Lhasa. Everyone in Lhasa expresses sincere thanks and warming welcome. As we all know, the 6th anniversary of Xizang's founding is a remarkable milestone in its developing history. The achievements of 6 decades are comprehensive, and every aspect of Xizang's society has happened unprecedented transformation according to the serious reality and vigorous figures. Combined to one most critical result, it has fulfilled the people's comprehensive development in Xizang totally. So all about them, are the stronger evidence to show the fulfillment of people's comprehensive development in Xizang during past decades. Among them, the development of education is one of the most impressive. Also, it can be seen the cornerstone to Xizang's historic progress. It totally embodied the successful practice of CPC's right governing approach on Xizang, as well as clarified the people-centered development thought in Xizang. Especially, I concerned the boarding school in Xizang for years, and I think the progress achieved in the works of boarding school is totally a vivid example of Xizang's historic achievements in its economic and social progress. The significance of this kind of education mostly is people-centered and has provided scientific, convenient, and efficient, high-quality education to the kids around Xizang, especially for the kids far from urban, so that they can share equal and high-quality education to make their life more and more brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Lhase, actually, I was in a farmer's family where the grandson was going through boarding school. He finished primary school. He's going on to middle school, still a boarding school, and he's looking forward to that. I wish I could share more of that story. But once again, let's talk a little bit about the relationship of the autonomous region with the Tibetan culture as, you know, a primary feature, whereas the unity of all ethnic groups in China, this unity and diversity model, if I can put it this way. How do we understand that? Help us with this here.
Exactly. We always believe in that unity makes us more stronger and powerful. And we see it as the lifeline to realize our basic interest in Xizang. I think only we look back to the history accurately and totally can we see the real situation and the progress in today, as well as Xizang's tremendous transformation in past 6 decades. Undoubtedly, Chinese nation is one of the most ancient nations with its brilliant and profound traditional culture. In the long-standing history period, all people from diversity ethnic groups around the country has created and developed a common nation, as well as its broadened territory, long-standing history, brilliant culture, and collective identity. By the way, unity in diversity is the critical principle line from history to nowadays for Chinese nation. By the perspective of Xizang's progress, we can see clearly this principle line and its spatial advantages. In the history, there were many indigenous ethnic groups lived on the plateau. Also, Potala Palace is the most remarkable symbol of Chinese nation identity since it has built. From 1965, Xizang began to exercise a comprehensive regional ethnic autonomy, ensuring that people of all ethnic groups are the masters of the country and the society. In the long-term development, people from different ethnic groups and different provinces have united together as one family and helped each other jointly establish new Xizang.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Lhase Danzo. Unfortunately, time is very limited. We have to move on to the discussion, but thank you so much, Jashi Dele, if I may. And let me turn to Victor Gao here. Victor, you have been waiting for quite some time, watching the whole preparation unfolding. What is the number one aspect that has stricken you by now? For me, it's the thunderous cheers that President Xi has received upon arriving in Xizang.
Thank you very much, Zashi Dele, for everyone. I think we are witnessing a very big day for Xizang, for China, and for the world, because I think the economic transformation of Xizang over the past 6 decades is for everyone to see. And if anyone denies that Xizang has been transformed and have uplifted from backwardness, poverty to prosperity and high level of development, I think they are not dealing with the realities on the ground. Now, the second thing is that the fact that Xizang has been achieving high level of stability over the years and has achieved high level of connectivity with the rest of China, that means you can really achieve all these miracles in very harsh natural conditions by overcoming all the natural adversities. And if Xizang can do that, it means many other countries and other harsh regions in the world can actually achieve similar things if they want to follow the path of development being considered as the hard truth. And I think the fact that we are celebrating the 60-year anniversary also is very meaningful in China, because we consider 60 years as a big cycle, 60 years, etc. It has tremendous amount of historical meaning in China. So I think we are celebrating the 60-year anniversary, and we are looking forward into the coming 60 years, the next 60 years. So that will make Si-cang a stronger and more prosperous region in China, and will really make sure that the people in Si-cang will fully benefit from the higher level of economic achievements that China is expected to make in the coming 60 years.
And talking about looking forward, we have to focus on the grand design because, Mr. Chu, as you just mentioned, it's very challenging to realize true development and increased benefit for the local people. It doesn't come easily. So talking about grand design, Chinese President Si Ťin-pching has been emphasizing the four major tasks, namely ensuring stability, facilitating development, protecting the eco-environment, and strengthening the borders. How our global viewers understand this grand design for Xizang?
Well, Pandeng, you mentioned it very clearly, and I was just going to expand my comment just now. Actually, I think, yes, it's correct, as Professor Gao has just mentioned. On such a bad natural condition, if you want to have modernization, you want to have high-quality development and stability, it's not an easy job. Take a look at similar regions in the whole world, like Nepal, like Bhutan. It's always very, very hard for the further development. But you go to Xizang, you find the whole shape, the whole face of the region are very, very different. You're like into a very modernized and a new world on such a high plateau. The reason why is that, I think number one is the supportive policy from the government. Ever since the funding of the Xizang Autonomous Region, the central government has been attached to great importance. This is not just an empty word. It means trillion worth of the yuans of the investment going to Xizang. Please let me remind everybody, Xizang only have 3.8 million residents in this region. If you plus the migrant workers and also the tourists, let's say 5 million people. 5 million people on average person. Our investment is more than $100,000 in the past 10 years. It's basically like you're buying a Ferrari to everybody. And such a kind of the huge investment actually been driving up the infrastructure building. And infrastructure building has been turning this barren land into a fertile land. In changing this landlocked region into a regional...
Okay. Now let's cross live to Lhase. You're watching live footage from Lhase, a grand gathering in celebration of the 60th founding anniversary of the Si-cang autonomous region is about to start very soon in the city. Chinese President Si Ťin-pching will attend the event. Now you're watching live footage from Potala Palace Square, the focal point of the big celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the establishment of the Xizang autonomous region.
The white shells you're seeing everywhere in Xizang is a very sacred tradition in Xizang. When people greet friends from afar, when people celebrate important occasions, they would present these shells as a token of appreciation, of gratitude, of welcome. And we're looking at this beautiful Potala Palace. It is part of a UNESCO-listed World Heritage Site. along with the Jokan Temple and surrounding areas. I was on that square just days ago,
right.
And obviously today...
I believe you've already sensed some kind of festive atmosphere, but
it's
today
different.
is, of course, it's way much grander, right?
And we're 10 seconds away. I can feel my heartbeat. It is a historic occasion. There
Indeed.
is no...
And people from all walks of life are gathering there to witness this big moment, I believe, not only for the region, but also for the whole nation, because we've been on a new path, and we've been in the process of building this community of the Chinese nation.
Yeah, and I think we're just about to see the ceremony starting any moment from now, and it's a beautiful day in Lhasa, perfect for such outdoor activity. Otherwise, the sunshine would be a bit very harsh, you know, so slightly cloudy, and it's just perfect.
Indeed, and Chinese President Si Ťin-pching led a central government delegation. They arrived in Lhasa on Wednesday, as we just reported. They received grand celebrations at the airport, land road leading into the heart of Lhasa, showing kind of a sincerity from the local people for the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the central government, and of course the support from all around the country to maintain the beauty of this region and also the development of this
I would
region.
say, indeed, I mean, people who have never been there probably wouldn't be able to appreciate the scale of the changes in a matter of decades.
Right. You've got to see it firsthand.
You've got to see it, you've got to feel it on. And by the way, it is open, okay, for foreign tourists. I actually bumped into some foreign tourists. They were able to get the permit to go to Si-cang. It's just a matter of formality. You can apply for a permit and you can go there. And I met visitors from Russia, from Italy, and they had a wonderful time there. So you have to see, because it was a society, it was a very primitive society, but in a matter of 6 decades, day and night difference. I mean, let's listen to the speeches and then watch the parade. We'll get some idea from what happens out of this grand celebration.
Yes, and this is also the first-hand experience to witness the local people's true attitude and voices regarding this occasion.
Watching Chinese President Xi Jinping waving to the crowds as he enters the venue for a grand celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Si-cang autonomous region in southwest China. This is the square in front of the iconic Patala Palace in the heart of Lhasa.
And people from all walks of life are demonstrating their joyous spirit at this very moment. And we just mentioned many people are holding this ceremonial scarf. I believe the local word is hada.
Yeah.
It's used to welcome guests at very important occasions, happy occasions, to express their joy.
Yeah, lots to unfold. Let's listen in.
Comrades, friends, the grand celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of Si-cang autonomous region now begins.
定之处去，达到国族主义。
Please all rise and embrace the national flag.
朝前不脱，不脱，前不脱。升国旗，唱国歌，家当人就当，加入动作，下过程，走。
Please be seated. Today we have several leaders joining the gathering. They are General Secretary of CPC Central Committee, Chinese President and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Si Ťin-pching, Central Committee member of the Political Bureau, Chairman of the CPPCC National Committee, Head of the Central Government Delegation, Also, we have the chairman of the CPPCC National Committee, head of the Central Government Delegation, Comrade Wang Huning. We have the Central Committee member of the Political Bureau, the Secretary of the Central Secretariat, Director of the Central Office, Comrade Cai Qi. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC, Central Committee Minister of the United Front Work Department of the CPC Central Committee, Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation Team, Comrade Li Ganjie. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee, the Vice Premier of State Council, Comrade He Lifeng. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee, the Vice Premier of the State Council, and also the Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation Team, Comrade Zhang Guoqing. The Secretary of the Secretariat of the CPC Central Committee, the State Councillor and the Minister of Public Security, Comrade Wang Xiaohong. Vice Chairperson of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation Team, Comrade Luosang Jiangcun. Vice Chairman of the CPPCC National Committee, Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation Team, Comrade Hu Chunhua. Member of the Central Military Commission, Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation Team, Comrade Zhang Shengming. Also, we have several leaders joining the gathering from the Si-cang Autonomous Region, the Party Secretary of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, Comrade Wang Junzheng, and also we have Chairman of the CPPCC Committee of Si-cang Autonomous Region, Pa Bala, and also we have Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the 12th MPC, Comrade Xiangba Pingcuo, and also Comrade Baima Chiling from the 13th National People's Congress, and also we have Deputy Head, Party Secretary of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, Comrade Yan Jinghai. Now, I would like to invite the Deputy Head of the Central Government Delegation, Comrade Zhang Guoqing, to read out the congratulatory message sent by the CPC Central Committee, the Standing Committee of the MPC, the State Council, the National Committee of the CPPCC, and Central Military Commission.
The CPC Committee of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, the Standing Committee of the People's Congress of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, the People's Government of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, the CPPCC Committee of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, and the PLA Si-cang Military Command. On the occasion of celebrating the 60th founding anniversary of Xizang Autonomous Region, the CPC Central Committee, the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, the State Council, the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission send warm congratulations and cordial greetings to officials and people of all ethnic groups and personages from all walks of life, to officers and soldiers of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, the Chinese People's Armed Police Forces, and law enforcement personnel in Xizang, and to all the comrades and friends who have participated in, assisted in, cared about, and supported Xizang's development and progress. The founding of Xizang Autonomous Region in 1965 is a milestone in the history of Xizang's development, marking the official implementation of regional ethnic autonomy. Since then, all ethnic groups in Xizang opened a new chapter of unity, hard work, and common prosperity and development. Over the past 6 decades, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee and strong support of all people in China, comrades and people in Xizang, with the indomitable spirit, successfully practice the regional ethnic autonomy system. The fight against separatism has gained good progress. Freedom of religious belief has been respected and ensured. Economic and social development has seen an all-round progress, and people's living standards has much improved. A tremendous changes has been made in the Xizang Autonomous Region. Since the 18th National Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Si Ťin-pching at its core placed great importance on Xizang's development. They cared about the people of all ethnic groups in Xizang and set up CPC's guidelines for governing Xizang in the new area. That helped to drive the all-round progress in all endeavors related to Xizang and made historic achievements. The Chinese modernization has made miracles one after another at the roof of the world. And Xizang has realized the fight against the poverty and with the rest of the country to build a moderately prosperous society in China. And this society enjoyed continuous stability. The fight against separatism has gained further progress, and the border has been further strengthened and secured. A strong sense of community for the Chinese nation has taken deeper root, and ethnic unity and religious harmony have been guaranteed. Reform and opening up have been made solid progress. High-quality development also have seen the good progress. The infrastructure construction has been accelerated. The cultural endeavors have been flourished, and the ecological safety shields have seen increasingly solid progress, and people enjoying their life and work. The leadership of the party and the construction of the party have been further strengthened, and the governing foundation of the party in Xizang have been further solidified. Today's Xizang is full of vibrant, and people in all ethnic groups support each other and walk in the same direction and toward a modern socialist new Xizang. The achievements of Xizang Autonomous Region in the past 6 decades have not come easily, and the experience was very much precious. We owe these changes to the efforts of the leadership of the CPC Central Committee and the fighting spirit of the government and people in Xizang Autonomous Region, and the great support of the old people in China. The practice proved compellingly that without the CPC, there would not be new China and there would not be new Xizang. And that the CPC Central Committee's guidelines and policies about Xizang are completely correct. Only by upholding the leadership of the CPC, upholding the system of socialism with Chinese characteristics, upholding the system of regional ethnic autonomy, upholding the guidelines of the CPC for governing Xizang in the new era, and fostering a stronger sense of the Chinese nation as one community, can Xizang realize its socialist modernization drive and embrace an even brighter future together with the rest of the Chinese nation. At present and in the following era, China is at a critical stage in building a great modern socialist country in all respects and realizing the goals in this regard. And also the work related to Xizang matters. We hope that the old comrades and the people in Xizang will always hold high the banner of socialism with Chinese characteristics, stick to the Si Ťin-pching thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics as the guide, and fully implement the spirit of party's 20th National Congress and the second and third of the 20th Congress, and also gained deep understanding of two establishment, enhance the four consciousnesses, reinforce the four sphere confidence, and ensure the two upholds. Fully implement the CPC guideline for governing Xizang in the new era, foster a stronger sense of community of the Chinese nation, advance the building of the community of the Chinese nation, and work on the four priorities of stability, development, ecology, and border management. All these endeavors will become a new, greater contribution to a new, modern socialist Xizang that is united, prosperous, culturally advanced, harmonious, and beautiful. And with the rest of the country, we will make our contribution to build a strong, modern socialist country in all respects and realize the second centenary goal, and advance national rejuvenation through the Chinese path to modernization. The PLA garrison, PAPF units, and law enforcement personnel in Xizang are the bulwark in safeguarding the borders of the motherland, maintaining national security, and promoting development and progress in Xizang. They must always keep in mind the expectations of the party and the people, carry forward fine traditions and conduct, serve as the loyal guardians to protect the country and secure the border areas, and solidify and strengthen unity between the military and the government, between the military and the people, and between the police and the people to make new contributions to lasting stability and high-quality development on this snowy plateau. Let us rally more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. Forge ahead with conviction, enterprise, unity, and perseverance, and make every effort to write a new chapter of Chinese modernization in Xizang Autonomous Region. May the Xizang Autonomous Region enjoy prosperity. May the people of all ethnic groups in Xizang enjoy happiness and well-being. Long live the great unity of the Chinese of all ethnic groups. The CPC Central Committee, the MPC Standing Committee, the State Council, the CPPCC National Committee, the Central Military Commission, 21st August 2025.
Now we would like to invite the head of the central government delegation, Comrade Wang Huning, to present the plaque to Si-cang Autonomous Region, and Comrade Wang Junzheng and Yan Jinghai will receive the plaque. Let's invite Comrade Wang Huning to unveil the plaque. This is about to build a community of the Chinese nation. Now I would like to invite Comrade Wang Huning to deliver a speech, who is the head of the central government delegation. Comrades, friends, yesterday, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, Chinese President, and the Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Si Ťin-pching, arrived in the beautiful city of Lhase with the central delegation. And today he is attending the ceremony and celebrating together with all the ethnic groups in Si-cang to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Si-cang Autonomous Region. The CPC Central Committee, the National People's Congress, Standing Committee, the State Council, the CPPCC National Committee, and the Central Military Commission would like to send our congratulations to the Si-cang Autonomous Region, and also want to send the greetings and the best wishes to the people of all ethnic groups in Si-cang. We would also like to express heartfelt gratitude to people from all sectors of life who have always cared for and supported the development of the Si-cang Autonomous Region. In September 1965, under the support of the CPC Central Committee and the party's ethnic policy, Si-cang Autonomous Region was pronounced to be established. It was a historic event in Si-cang's development, and also it consolidated the great achievements of the Si-cang peaceful liberation and democratic reform, and realized a historic leap in the development of Si-cang's social system. In the past 6 decades, Si-cang's economy and society has progressed comprehensively. Its regional GDP has grown from 327 million yuan in 1965 to 276.5 billion in 2024, marking a 154-fold increase with annual growth of 8.9%. The mileage of roads open to traffic has surpassed 120,000 kilometers, while the Fuxing bullet train traverses its rough terrains. 183 flight routes connect all the parts to the world. Electricity is accessible by all the households in the region, and the 5G signal has reached to the top of the Chumanama. The lives of people of all ethnic groups have largely improved. The disposable income of urban and rural residents have increased significantly from 1965, from 456 yuan and 108 yuan respectively, reach and increase to 55,000 55,444 yuan and 21,578 yuan in 2024, marking an annual growth of 8.5% and 9.4%. Its education, healthcare, and social security systems have witnessed constant improvements. And also, Si-cang is the first to implement a 15-year compulsory education. And also, we have a total of 3,618 schools of all tiers with over 970,000 enrolled students. The number of healthcare institutions grew through 193 in 1965 to 7,231 in 2024. And the average life expectancy also increased by more than one-fold compared to the establishment time of the Si-cang Autonomous Region. The construction of the ecological civilization in Si-cang also achieved significant results. The forest and grassland vegetation coverage rate has been improved constantly. The water quality maintained in good condition, and also the number of days rated with good air have topped 99%. Ethnic unity in Si-cang has been increasingly consolidated. And also the identity of the Chinese nation is now firmly rooted in people's hearts and minds, in the people from the Si-cang Autonomous Region, and the freedom of religious faith have been thoroughly respected and safeguarded. Cultural affairs have prospered. Extremely traditions of culture such as the epic of the King Gesser, Tibetan opera, Tibetan medicine, and Changkang art have been reinvigorated. And since the 18th Party Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Si Ťin-pching as core has attached great importance to the work of Si-cang and formulated a plan to govern the Si-cang in the new era. And also we have taken a systemic way to ensure the long-term stability and security of Si-cang and its high-quality development. Si-cang has entered a time when it's developed the fast, changed the most, and its people have obtained the most benefits from the party and also in the history. Si-cang also won the battle against the poverty and successfully built a moderately prosperous society, and numerous major national projects have taken place in Si-cang Autonomous Region, and a number of major policy measures have also brought tangible benefits to people of all ethnic groups in Si-cang. Si-cang also achieved historic results in its economic and social development. And also we have a historical change in the society and also a historical leap in our people's living standards. The socialist, modernized, and new Si-cang have showcased its strong vitality. In the past 6 decades, the central government and the local governments across China have provided Si-cang with tremendous support. Between 1965 and 2024, the central fiscal investment in Si-cang amounted to 2.6 trillion yuan in total. The partner system of supporting Si-cang's development has witnessed steady improvements. The aiding fund totaled 64.3 billion yuan, and more than 14,000 colors and talents were chosen in 11 installments to work in Si-cang. And also we have like 17 provinces and municipalities have been supported like Si-cang Autonomous Region, covering all the 74 counties. This fully demonstrates the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China and the significant political advantage of China's socialist system. The remarkable achievements of Si-cang Autonomous Region in the past 6 decades serve as a firm testament to the fact that only under the leadership of the Communist Party of China and by adhering the path of socialism with Chinese characteristics to a system of autonomous governance in the Lhase region as well as the party's plan, can Si-cang's prosperity and progress be achieved, a beautiful future for the region be created, and a happy and safe life can be ensured for people of all ethnic groups in Si-cang.
comrades and friends, at present and in the following era, we are at a critical stage in building a great modern socialist country in all respects and realizing the second centenary goal. Si-cang's modernization drive is also standing at the new historical starting point. Let us follow Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era as our guide, implement the spirit of the 20th National Congress and its second and third plenary session of the CPC Central Committee, gain deep understanding of two establishments, enhance the four consciousnesses, reinforce the four sphere confidence, and ensure the two upholds. Fully implement the CPC guidelines for governing Si-cang in the new era, foster a strong sense of community of the Chinese nation, work on the four priorities of stability, development, ecology, and border management, and to make Si-cang a new modern socialist Si-cang that is united, prosperous, culturally advanced, harmonious, and beautiful. First, we should follow the CPC leadership. The Communist Party of China is the core leadership of the socialist cause with Chinese characteristics. It is the most reliable backbones of the people from all ethnic groups. We should follow the Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era with an even greater sense of purpose in thinking and action, and also to align our initiatives closely with the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core and ensure that the party's major policies and measures are comprehensively and thoroughly implemented in Si-cang. We must adhere to the governance of the party with a spirit of reform and rigorous standards, strengthen the building of leadership at all levels, teams of courageous and talents and grassroots organizations, and guide the courageous and people of all ethnic groups to follow the CPC's leadership. Second, firmly safeguard national security and ensure lasting stability. We should consolidate the social situation of a harmonious, stable Si-cang and promote the comprehensive governance of Si-cang based on the rule of law, strengthen social governance and make initiatives in terms of it, and build an ironclad defense to safeguard stability. We should deepen our fight against the separate forces, ensure the security of the border area. Si-cang has always been an inalienable part of China's sacred territory. Si-cang's affairs are China's internal affairs. We do not tolerate any external interference. Any intentions that aim to separate our nation and harm the stability in Si-cang are doomed to fail. Third, firmly consolidate and develop ethnic unity. We should further advance in building the community of the Chinese nation, promote exchanges and communication among ethnic groups, and also ensure people of all ethnic groups to strengthen their faith in our great motherland, the Chinese nation, the Chinese culture, the CPC, and socialism with Chinese characteristics. We should see that religions in China are Chinese in orientation, and we should also follow the example of the older generation engaged in Si-cang development and those who constructed the Si-cang-Sichuan Highway and the Qinghai-Si-cang Highway, and also to firmly promote the development of the country and unite and guide people from all ethnic groups to safeguard our sacred national territory and build a happy life. Fourth, firmly promote high-quality development of Si-cang's economy and society. We should completely, accurately, and comprehensively implement the new development theory and also serve and integrate the Si-cang into the new development program, deepen reform, opening up, and also we should always make sure that we put ecological conservation as our top of our priority and make sure that we always keep skies blue, waters clear, and air clean in this snowy plateau. Fifth, firmly improve people's livelihood and promote common prosperity. We should stick to the people-centered development philosophy and continue to increase input and support for Xizang's development, consolidate and expand the achievements of our efforts in eradicating poverty, and coordinate and push for the new pattern of urbanization and the full rejuvenation of the rural areas, proceed with actions to make border areas prosperous and make residents richer in the new area. We should make sure that the care of the central government and the strides of cadres and the residents from all Xizang's ethnic groups. And we should combine them all together so as to continuously meet people's ever-growing needs for a better life. Comrades, friends, we should always draw the inspiration from the history and also motivate it for us to make a new glory in the future. Let us rally closely around the Party Central Committee with Comrade Si Ťin-pching at its core, work together and forge ahead to advance the building of a new modernized society in Xizang and fight for the realization of the grand goal of building a well-off society in a way and the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. May our great motherland enjoy prosperity. May people of all ethnic groups in Xizang enjoy happiness and well-being.
Now I would like to invite the Party Secretary of the Xizang Autonomous Region, Comrade Wang Junzheng, to deliver a speech. Honorable General Secretary Xi Jinping, leaders, comrades, dear friends, today we solemnly gather here to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of Xizang Autonomous Region. General Secretary Xi Jinping have came to Xizang and also joined today's gathering. It shows that he attached great importance to the work in the Xizang Autonomous Region and also shows his care to all the ethnic groups in Xizang. Here, on behalf of the Party Committee, National People's Congress, Government, CPPCC, Xizang Military, and ethnic groups in Xizang Autonomous Region, I would like to pay my highest tribute and heartfelt thanks to Comrade Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee. Also, I would like to extend my warm welcome to the central government delegation and all the leaders. And also, I would like to extend my greetings to grassroots cadres and people from all walks of life, Xizang-based PLA officers, the armed forces, and servicemen, as well as those who have been supporting the development of Xizang Autonomous Region. And also want to say a big thank you to those who have made contribution to the development and progress of Xizang Autonomous Region. In May 1951, Xizang achieved peaceful liberation. In September 1965, we have officially established Xizang Autonomous Region, which turned a new page for Xizang's history. In the past 6 decades, under the leadership of CPC, also under the support of all the Chinese people, all ethnic groups in Xizang, has worked tirelessly and forged ahead. We are seeing groundbreaking changes in the Snow Plateau. And also we are seeing a lot of miracles happens in Xizang Autonomous Region. Especially since the 18th Party Congress, we hold high the banner of the socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. We have implemented and fully exercised the policies from the CPC on governing Xizang. We have focusing on the 4 major events in Xizang, that is development, stability, ecology, and strengthening the border. We have strengthened our awareness of the security of the landscape, and we have maintained a stability of the society. We also have earnestly exercised the 3 grants and 1 benefits. Make sure that we can achieve the high-quality development from the plateau economy and to ensure that we can improve the sense of gaining happiness and security of our local people. We have stayed committed to the right path to resolve ethnic issues with Chinese characteristics and make sure that we have this awareness to build a community of the Chinese nation and to foster the construction and the building of this community. And I have to make sure that the Tibetan Buddhism can be adapted to the socialist society. And also we exercise the Si Ťin-pching's philosophy on civilization and protect our environment. We have made sure that we have deployed sufficient armed forces and also to strengthen the security of the border. And also to make sure that we can bring benefits to our local people by strengthening the security of the border and uphold the national interest resolutely. And we also have a strict guidelines to manage our parties and make sure that the party governance can be implemented and also penetrated into our societal development. To make sure that we have a very solid role of the party in the governance in Xizang. And today, Xizang, we have a very stable society, good economic development, and all the ethnic groups are very united. And also, we have a good ecology, a very strengthening border. All the people live a good night. And also, we can see that in Xizang, we have very prosperous and thriving real. All of these achievements are thanks to the leadership of the Communist Party of China and also the socialism with Chinese characteristics. And also this is a vivid exercise that can be reflected by the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. And also this is thanks to the leadership from the previous party committees and the governments. And this also shows that the central governments and other national organs for their firm support for the local Xizang-based PLAs. And also it shows that the warmth from the Chinese family and all of these will be remembered by all the ethnic groups in Xizang Autonomous Region. General Secretary Xi Jinping highly attached great importance to the work of Xizang Autonomous Region, have made a number of important notice, and also he provided a lot of guidance for our future development and lay a solid foundation and guidance for us. In facing with the new mission and the new situations, we will continue to learn the significance of the 2 establishments, and also we will strengthen our 4 awareness, firm out the 4 confidence, and do the 2 upholds. We will rally even closer around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, and also take this time as a new starting point and to build a community of Chinese nation, and also to write up a new chapter for the beautiful Xizang. And we will fight hard to build a prosperous border of our motherland. Wish our nation great prosperity and a beautiful future for Xizang, and all the happiness to our people. Now we would like to invite the grassroots representative to give a speech.
General Secretary Si Ťin-pching, leaders, residents of Si-cang. I'm the grassroots representative, Zhuoma Renzeng, from Lhasa City. Today, standing at this solemn venue, looking at the flying national flag, full of gratefulness and excitement. A period of 6 decades that could be just a blink of eyes in the long duration of history. But for people in Si-cang, that was a epoch-making and historical transition. So for myself, that also have a new life given by the Communist Party of China. The second year of the peaceful liberation of Si-cang, that was the time I was born, and the second year of Si-cang democratic reform, that was the time I went to school, and the second year of founding of Si-cang autonomous region, I started my work career. There are so many second years that also a second life given to me by the CPC. I have always received the benefits under the leadership of the party, so I got a healthy life and also a happier life. For myself, I experienced the whole historical transition, the Si-cang shaked off the feudal serfdom and people became the masters of their own. And the change of my own destiny also, that's the picture of that's the reborn of the whole Si-cang. I still remember that back then the news of the founding of the autonomous region, just like riding on a pair of wings, quickly spread to every corner of the snowy plateau. Not long after the founding of the autonomous region, with the support and care of the party and the government, I, as myself wishes, become an announcer. From then, I always, full of passion, promoted the special care given by the Party Central Committee and also to spread the stories that the Party Central Committee bring the happiness and sweetness to tens of thousands of households in Si-cang. Looking back at the whole journey with tremendous changes, we have a deeply understanding and feel that without the CPC, there would not be the new China and there would not be new Si-cang and there would not be the new life that is happy and beautiful. Blossom of Galsang flowers are the smiley faces from the snowy plateau, and that is also the source of happiness from the party's endeavor. With the support and care of the Party Central Committee, Si-cang has seen a tremendous changes. We moved to bigger houses, and we also have cars, and we have better incomes, and people of all ethnic groups use their mobile phones to experience the great landscape of the motherland and to experience the splendid culture and also the changes and endeavors in the country. And the sense of the community of Chinese nation has taken deeper roots in people's heart. Especially in the new era, with the great leadership of General Secretary Si Ťin-pching, we have seen even greater changes happened in Si-cang. The roads are wider, the road lamps are brighter, the mountains in north and south are greener, and our ancient cities become more beautiful, and our urban constructions also become more modernized. For our elderly people, they have more places to spend their times, and for young people, they have more work to do to realize their dreams. And for the young generations, grow healthily with the care of the party. And our days and lives here become better and sweeter. Now, my son and daughter-in-law are all teachers, and my grandson is right now in university. From my bottom of my heart, I would like to express my gratitude to the party, to General Secretary Si Ťin-pching. We won't get lost by looking at the Big Dipper. We will live a happy life under the CPC leadership. Although I'm in my greater age, but the appreciation to the party is like the root of the tree, deeply into my heart, and also I always remember that. Going forward, we will also follow the leadership of the party to appreciate the party and also to fight against all forms of separatist activities. Just like protect our eyes, we should safeguard ethnic unity, and just like cherish our lives, we should safeguard our sacred territory of the country. At last, I wish General Secretary Si Ťin-pching and all leaders good health, all the best. Thank you.
So right now, we will have the parade activities to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of Si-cang Autonomous Region.
Now watching live footage from Lhase, capital of Si-cang Autonomous Region. This is a big day, not only for the city, but for the whole autonomous region as well. The day marks the 60th and founding anniversary of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, and as we've been witnessing, a grand ceremony is underway to mark this big day for the region.
Yeah, you're looking at fascinating images coming out of the capital of the Si-cang Autonomous Region, the iconic Potala Palace, and the huge square where a grand celebration conference was just taking place. Now a parade will pass through that street you're seeing right in front of the Potala Palace. The parade, as we have been told, will last about 50 minutes. It will consist of 4 parts, mainly with different themes, and all the 7 prefecture-level cities or region in the Si-cang Autonomous Region will present their very best, right?
Indeed. It's perfect timing to present the region, the nation, and even the whole world, the achievements made by the region and its people in the past 6 decades. Now the parade starts.
Yeah, and we're looking at the first float. The first theme of this part is, of course, reminding people exactly how the tremendous transformation took place. It was under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party. I think more cannot be said about the importance of the leadership of the party, because
Indeed.
Without the Communist Party of China, without the founding of New China and Tibet being part of China's overall growth, it is simply unimaginable, right?
Indeed.
This kind of transformation.
And this country is a people's republic, and as we just heard from that representative from the Tibetan people there, he said for the first time since the peaceful liberation, since the founding of the autonomous region, people have become masters of their own fate, of their own life and their own future. Just, I think it's very fair to say, just as those 4 letters read, led by the banners, of course. We can see a big banner of the Chinese, the flag of the Communist Party of China.
Yeah. Well, actually, for those who are not very familiar with what Tibet looked like before, right, just half a century ago, about half a century, or, you know, at the, as China was as New China was being founded, it was a completely different world.
Exactly. It was ruled by this so-called theocratic feudal serfdom.
Serf meaning slaves.
Slaves, yeah. That means only a few that rules the majority of the people in Tibet, and most of them are slaves. They were not masters of their own fate, and even on their own.
They couldn't read.
No.
They couldn't read. They couldn't receive a proper education. Basically, the great majority of the people who were slaves were illiterate as well. So right now, it's a complete change.
Yeah. Here comes the national emblem of the People's Republic of China.
Yeah. I think it is very important. The messages that are sending out here is to remind people that Tibet is, or Si-cang, is an integral part of China. I mean, without the overall strength, the leadership, the support as well from the central government as well as other provinces, autonomous regions, it is impossible for Tibet to achieve this kind of miraculous growth, right? 150 times.
Miraculous transformation. Now here comes the portrait of leaders, let's say from the first generation of the central leadership, Chairman Mao Zedong, to General Secretary Si Ťin-pching.
Now, 5 generations, indeed. And
people of the Si-cang are paying their respects to the leadership.
Absolutely. It's a reminder of exactly how this is all achieved. Just now, some of the messages, some of the information we were listening to, for instance, alluded to the kind of central fiscal investment in Tibet over the past 60 years. It was I jotted down, it was 2.4 trillion yuan.
Astronomical number.
Astronomical. If you do a bit of math, that's 360 billion US dollars from the central government to Tibet alone, to Si-cang alone. Not to mention the partnership, the sister provinces and autonomous regions, the kind of help both in manpower, in capacity, in expertise, and just funding, to help Tibet grow. Come, let's do it together. That's the spirit.
Yes, and now here comes the logo for the celebration this year. It reads as an Arabic number 60, and we can also read the various elements from that logo, the Chinese national flag for sure, and beautiful sceneries of Si-cang. Now here comes banners formation.
Yeah. One is talking about upholding Xi Jinping thought. The other, the one that follows, is actually what was written on that gift that was presented from the central government.
Plate was as a gift from the central government delegation to the autonomous region. And it's the latest remarks from President Xi Jinping on the development of Si-cang, jointly building a community of Chinese nation and writing a new chapter of beautiful Si-cang. And this could be seen as a new starting point for this arduous journey ahead.
Right, and the emphasis on beautiful, if you look at the emblem, the logo of the celebration, blue sky, white clouds, there's
clean energy, by the way.
Clean energy.
Yeah.
And so there's always an emphasis on preserving the eco-environment as one of the top priorities.
That could be called a lifeline for Si-cang.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is beautiful. I mean, if you go there, the air is so pure, the water, the scenery is just dazzling, and lots of tourists from everywhere, from China, and as I said, from abroad as well. I understand there's a jump of about 200% of foreign visitors coming to Si-cang over the past year. Yeah.
Now here comes the formation of the PLA.
The armed forces, the law enforcement and militia will follow.
And talking about 4 major tasks Si-cang bears for its development and for its future development, of course, stability comes first.
Absolutely.
And it's a border region, let's remember.
So it has a 4,000-kilometer border.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Very long border there, and it's of ultimate importance to maintain the stability not only in the region, but also along the border regions.
Absolutely. Si-cang Autonomous Region lies in southwest China, so it borders countries such as India, Nepal, Bhutan, and the Kashmir region, and Myanmar to the east. So, as I said, 4,000 kilometers of borders. lots of work there, but it's not just the PLA, the people again.
Indeed.
The local people from various ethnic groups all carrying out. Actually, the young boy that I interviewed, the Tibetan boy that I interviewed from a farmer's family, his goal, he told me his goal is to grow up to be a PLA soldier and guard the borders.
Believe it or not, I heard very same dreams when I was there 10 years ago. The formation of the armed police, now law enforcement officers formation.
Yeah. Well, some dark chapters, let's say, when Si-cang was plagued by terrorism, people who had separatist intentions were able to carry out some heinous crimes on this piece of land. Indeed. And now the situation has, by and large, been brought under control. Actually, very good. If you go to Si-cang, if you travel on the streets of Lhasa or elsewhere, you just feel safe. There's a great sense of safety. You can just stroll around, do shopping, sightseeing, carry out religious activities. People kowtowing, for instance, according to the Tibetan traditional style. And
it all comes from stability.
It all comes from stability, security, and these people...
Female militias.
Female militias,
Local people sometimes call them the sunflower of the Tibetan plateau. Actually, militia is not exactly part of the PLA, but they come from the people.
But always a very important part of the Chinese armed forces, let's put it this way. When there is no fighting, when there is no emergency, they provide service, but when there is emergency, when there is war fighting, they will serve as soldiers as well.
That's right.
It was great, these female militia members marching through the podium, being reviewed by the delegation from Beijing to show the morale of the people here in Tibet, here in Si-cang, guarding their own homeland.
Now here comes another banner.
This is
four major tasks for Si-cang's development, right?
And if you pay...
Stability comes first, then development, then
ecology,
preservation of ecology, and
the borders,
strengthening borders.
If you look closely, it's Han language on top.
It's bilingual and Tibetan
language underneath that. The same thing for all the banners around the square. And you must have noticed just now everything was used in both the Han language and the Tibetan language here as well. You can see people
focusing on establishing a model region of ethnic unity. And this is also one of the goals, high-quality economic development.
Well, people from different cultures might find it a little bizarre that we use banners so much, that we use slogans so much. But it is a kind of tradition that has proven effective. Since
it's part of the Chinese culture. It's part
years.
of the Chinese politics. I would say it go back to ancient times. It's been open to what you're going to achieve and to tell the people. You're not isolating people from your political settings and
There's
political
design. There's not a conspiracy.
No,
the agenda is out there.
I would say it's about transparency. It's about open to the people. Let's let people know straightforward what we're going to do. And what's this about? And what's this about your own life and maybe, your own future?
And this will be passed down true to the spirit and to the letter. I mean, nobody's going to interpret this way or that. They will stay true to the agenda, to what is being spelled out, and they will try to implement it as truthfully as possible to their ability. Again, appreciation. Here we hear a lot of the
to General
keyword.
Secretary Xi and to the
Party leadership.
Central Committee, and appreciation to people all around country. This is very straightforward, talking about these banners, right? In a straightforward and very
explicit
simple
messages. explicit
Yeah,
messaging.
easy for people to
effective.
understand and very straightforward. Yeah, key messages there, right?
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting. It shows the gratefulness that they want to express to people all over China because the huge investment, the pairing mechanisms, you know, of more developed areas in the east and the less developed areas, including Xizang and Xinjiang, for instance. Actually, while I was in Lhasa, I just went to a small county next to Lhasa, and
They're talking about Lhasa.
Yeah,
the
there you
float
go.
Comes, yeah.
Yeah, and
I believe
found
we're
out.
going to see like floats and formations from 7 regions in Xizang, right?
Yeah.
And Lhasa comes first.
I was just going to say, you know, behind the prosperity that Tibet has, that Xizang has enjoyed, a lot of help come from sister cities, sister provinces.
That's right.
And I was in that little village right outside Lhasa where I saw the name of my hometown in Jiangsu
Really?
province. Yes,
Really?
hand in hand with that little county, with that small county.
Yeah, they are like over 3,000 kilometers away. And yet they paired together.
They paired together.
In building this beautiful small village.
Yeah, to provide their expertise because they
Indeed,
know
doing
they've
concrete
done it.
deeds to help people and joint development. After all, we're a community as a Chinese nation.
Absolutely.
A family in simpler ways, right?
We're all part of the big family,
Yeah.
so let's help each other.
Yeah.
It's a very originative float. If you see, there were some doves that were released.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing people in traditional eta dancing.
Dancing, the city of culture, sunlight, ecology, leisure, and hospitality, as the float Spanish read.
I think they're holding some kind of flower that's very symbolic of
Those are sunflower. We've been
there.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful and also one of the most commonly seen flowers on the plateau. Yeah, sunflower. Yeah.
I see. And people dressed in traditional eta. So this must be from the Lhasa area.
Yeah, the Lhasa region. Each
And the
region,
dance as well.
Yeah, and each region in Xizang has its unique and distinctive dress, and also dance formats, I believe. And Lhasa is an ancient city with a history of over 1,300 years.
Yeah. Dating all the way to the Tang Dynasty.
That's
where
right.
The Songzhan Gambu, the Tibetan prince, married the Tang Dynasty princess,
Princess
Wencheng.
Wencheng, yes.
It's a love story that's recorded in history and handed down for generations. Hence the Potala Palace, actually.
That's right. That's right. And on this very day today, the formation has 225 youth representatives from Lhasa. And believe this or not, last year, Lhasa attracted 43 million tourists from domestic and
There
abroad.
go some flowers.
Yeah. In full
I can
bloom,
imagine.
huh?
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, 43 million visits from home and abroad
Right.
because there is a lot. Let's listen in a little bit.
Yep.
So you were there 10 years
10
ago.
years ago.
To cover
I would say the atmosphere is equally festive.
Electrifying.
But I believe this year people would have more joy and maybe even a little bit sense of surprise because Chinese President Xi Ťin-pching is leading the central government delegation this time.
This is the very first time that the chairman, that the president of China the celebrations today. We're seeing President Xi waving back to the performers.
That's right. And those performers holding umbrellas decorated as the gasang flowers. As we just mentioned, the word actually gasang means happiness in Tibetan. And these flowers represent local people's aspiration for a better life. Now here comes the float and the formation of Jakarta.
Yeah, it's to the west of Lhasa, to the southwest of Lhasa, about 250 kilometers away, I understand.
The second largest city in the region.
City, and well, where the mountain climbers love to go.
Oh, really? Have you got a chance to visit Jakarta during your recent trip?
Unfortunately not.
No? Right,
Unfortunately.
right.
I would love one day to go there. You see Mount Kumulangma being the caricature there.
Yeah,
because
one of the key elements there, huh?
Yeah, that's why I say mountain climbers will flock there, because if they want to scale the Mount Everest or the Kumulangma, there you go. But it is being given the keyword open.
Open. That's
it is
right.
open. It's a gateway to the south, to the South Asian neighbors, let's say, of China.
Right.
And again, you're seeing different kinds of traditional costumes.
Yes. And it borders Nepal, the region of Jakarta borders Nepal, Kingdom Bhutan, and India. The average altitude of Jakarta is over 4,000 meters, really, really high. That's the average.
That's
just imagine.
Have you ever tried? Have you?
No, it's on my bucket list. That was. I've been to Lhasa and Ningzhi.
Lhasa and Ningzhi are actually relatively lower in terms of altitude.
Yeah, relatively, yes.
500, 3,010, 100. But here it's 4,000, so it's tougher. And they're out of they're
we can see
doing a different
obviously
dance.
the costumes and dancing formats change a little bit from Lhasa's, right?
Absolutely.
And Jakarta has a population of nearly 800,000. The majority of Jakarta's population are Tibetan. In 2024, the region promoted deep integration of rural revitalization and plateau-specific agriculture. It implemented over 460 projects with a total investment of over $400 billion, and these efforts make a distinctive path towards prosperity rooted in local strengths.
Well, if people are fan to culture and arts, they would know. Okay, let's watch. Something is happening. Actually, Jakarta is known to be the home to the Tibetan opera.
That's right, and the region also shows, just as the dancing formats, just to show that the region also has this kind of fortitude, attitude of fortitude, spirit of fortitude, because at the start of this year, the region just experienced an earthquake, and now it's still recovering.
Again, people from all over the country rush to the scene to help out. Now we're looking at the float, the formation from Shannan, which is very close to Lhasa, to its southeast, and this is their formation. So let's see what's featured there. There I can see a mask, definitely.
Yeah, because it has a very distinctive national intangible cultural heritage dance, showcasing the vitality of local ethnic groups and their aspiration of building their homeland. And the region is widely considered the cradle of the Tibetan ethnic group and a birthplace of Tibetan culture.
There actually it's not just about tradition. There's the famous draw dance, by the way, where if people watched the news yesterday when President Xi got off the plane, he was greeted by these dancers in these traditional attire.
And
very symbolic.
Yeah, and that's exactly why those cultural symbols are on the float to mark the distinctive characteristics of the region.
So Shannan is not just about tradition, not just about dancing. It's also about high technology.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, actually...
Intelligent computing, huh?
Yeah. Actually, the Yajiang-1 supercomputing is very much high on the agenda for the local development. What it does actually is to use the local energy resources to fuel computing industry which is energy hungry. So
that's right.
It's part of a national project to send data from eastern part of China to be computed in western part of China, such as Si-cang, such as Xinjiang.
And Guizhou as well.
Yeah.
Earlier we talked about the challenging natural conditions. Now these are favorite natural conditions for technologies like this because it has a cooler temperature.
Absolutely.
And the sufficient hydropower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you're watching these dances, don't forget the modernity underneath the surface.
That was the draw dance we just talked about, a Tibetan dance, and the word draw in Tibetan stands for auspiciousness. It's one of the oldest forms of traditional dance in the world.
Very good message for the future. Let's move on to the next float from Lingzhi. It's a beautiful place, actually, where the climate is slightly milder. The altitude is lower, 3,100 meters above sea level. And it's known, believe it or not, for its peach blossoms in spring. Yeah. Huge flocks of tourists come to this part of Si-cang. It's in the southeast of Si-cang.
And the village of Gala, it reads. And also the famous Yaluzambu Grand Canyon is located in Ningzhi.
Right, there's the Grand Canyon where the Yaluzambu River makes a huge turn. Actually, what's on the lips of everybody these days is this huge hydropower project at the lower reaches of the Yaluzambu River, which was just unveiled in July this year.
And due to more favorable natural conditions, Ningzhi now focuses on development of its key industries, including tourism, agriculture, and clean energy industries.
And again, we're looking at the very special local costumes from that area, from Lingzhi. Indeed, very different style, right? More feminine, more...
And the theme color of their outfits are very different from region to region.
Yeah. So next time you see these costumes, they're from Lingzhi.
Right.
They're not from Shannan. Just now, the style was very majestic.
And the drum drums and everything.
Softer. Yeah. In line with the climate, probably. I was actually in Lingzhi, and I was so astonished how comfortable, how pleasant.
Probably the average altitude there is is somewhere around 2,000 meters above sea level, so obviously more favorable to people from lower altitudes to travel there, enjoy the really, really beautiful natural scenery there.
Yeah. And a lot of green spaces, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. All year round.
All year round.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes. But next to all of that is beautiful, excellent infrastructure. I couldn't believe the roads I was driving on, I was traveling on, including the train. I was taking from Lhasa to Linchi, top-notch, state-of-the-art.
Right. How long does it take now from Lhasa to Linchi?
From Lhasa, just, I think, 2-3 hours. You know, it's not a bullet train, but it's a very high-quality train. Let's take a look at their performance. In southeast.
Those male dancers played a fiddle-like musical instrument popular in the Linchi area. Both played, yes, by both stringing and plucking.
Okay.
Now here comes the float of Chengdu and the formation that follows. Chengdu is located in the east of the Xizang Autonomous Region, and in Tibetan, Chengdu means the place where the different branches of water meet.
Indeed, eastern gateway of Tibet, of Xizang.
And the three parallel river in Chengdu, namely Jingsha River, Lancang River, and Nujiang River, is a national scenic area and World Natural Heritage.
Now the city is called, here is written Red Chengdu.
Red Chengdu.
It's actually there's a twofold meaning to it. First of all, the city has a red hue to it, has a red tone to it.
Right.
You know, the earth is reddish. The river has a red tone to it. But on the other hand, historically, this is also where the first national flag was raised.
In
Xizang. Yeah. So there is a revolutionary history episode to this place.
And this village has been called the very first village in the peaceful liberation of Xizang. The village is called Gantur. And in 1950, at that very village, the first national flag of the People's Republic was raised.
Qamdu. Qamdu. Again, their costume is different. This is very similar to what we normally understand as the typical Tibetan costume, right? With the very colorful hairband and long sleeves and the apron-style piece of fabric in front of the women's dress. And also very typical moves as well. Again, Qamdu is a place with rich resources, with copper, with black waters, metal, and forests, and the city is also striving on clean energy.
That's right, and this is a perfect place to demonstrate the concept and guiding principle of lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. The concept is raised by Si Ťin-pching 20 years ago when he was working in East China's Zhejiang province. And for Xizang and also for Chengdu, ecological protection remains a key area. This particular dance from Chengdu is called xianzi. It's a combination of singing, dancing, and musical instruments playing.
Just feel like dancing, but after the show. Now, a huge yak. You see?
Yes.
It's
from Nachu.
From the region of Nachu.
Yeah.
So Nachu in Tibetan language actually means black river, so you can kind of get a picture of what the region is like. And yak is obviously, very representative symbol of the region. I understand people here use yaks for all kinds of purposes, including crossing the river.
Yes, and Nachu is the highest administrative city.
In north of Si-cang.
Yes,
right?
it's the highest administrative city in China. The average altitude there is 4,500 meters.
Uh-oh. Not for me. Not yet.
Maybe we can try. And also on that float, we have the image of King Gesar. It's almost a common figure for the Tibetan ethnic group.
There you go. They're the gentleman.
Yes.
With the head, with the horse.
There.
Well, actually, he's the hero in the epic
ancient
Gesar.
legend. Yeah. Ancient legend.
Which is a World Heritage, intangible heritage piece of work. It's about the 10th century general or prince who, his story, his life. And right now it's kind of a well-protected art and skill for people to recite and perform the Gesar, right, which is extremely long. I heard 20 million characters, 170 texts, and people just have to kind of speak it out as if they don't have to memorize with any effort. Yeah, there we're seeing performers coming from Nachu. Again, very different. They're holding a piece of adornment that looks like a yak's horn. Yeah.
And the dancing format here is commonly known as gozhong. The dancing itself means singing and dancing in circles, because that's the original meaning in Tibetan, and it's one of the three major folk dancing formats in Si-cang. And in 2006, it was inscribed into the first batch of China's national intangible cultural heritage.
Actually, not just this, a lot of the dances and the drums are also listed as national and intangible cultural heritages. Altogether, I think there are some 2,600 of these kind of art forms or skills that have been enlisted.
The whole region is a treasure cove for intangible cultural heritage.
And under extreme protection, an extremely high sense of protection. For instance, inheritors of all kinds of skills would be named, and they would be given special allowance or attention so that they can pass down the tradition and the skills.
We just need to remind our viewers that even the costumes of the performers are part of China's national intangible cultural heritage they call Ando and Baja. Now, here comes the float of Ali.
Or
and
Nari, as you call it in Tibetan.
Yes, and also
to the west,
formation.
In the western part of Si-cang.
That's right, in western Si-cang region.
And even higher altitude, I understand.
And actually the float's name actually reads
天上
Ali, above the sky, right?
Yeah, in the
that
heavens.
shows the high altitude there.
Right now it's actually extremely popular tourist destination again.
Right.
I know people go there to spend holidays.
Yeah, it will be quite different scenery there because it's also known as the rooftop of the world's rooftop.
The rooftop of the world.
Yes,
rooftop.
with an average altitude of 4,500 meters.
4,500. But you know, that's what I was told. The rooftop of the world's rooftop is connected with 5G.
Right.
Can we say that?
Right.
Where the infrastructure, the telecommunications.
Yeah, it shows the determination and capability of China's infrastructure progress. And we can see that there's a huge mountain peak on that float, and that is the main peak of the Ganges Mountains, Peak Garambochi. It's a very sacred mountain peak in whole Tibetan culture, right?
Yeah. Kailash, if I remember correctly, that's how that peak is called. And people would pay tribute to on foot, right?
On foot,
for
going around.
Going around the whole mountain to complete their sacred pilgrimage, kowtowing all the way. And some people would save up for a long time and bring their children or their family with them. It's a hard journey, but they want to do that because they're really pious in their belief in that.
Showing their devotion. I was told that the peak itself looks really sacred, a little bit secretive even, and very holiness-like, even by watching from afar.
It's well worth visiting, I guess. But here, again, the costume is very different, and this is xuanwu. This is known as xuan dance that the locals are performing.
A drum dance, mainly.
And their costume, again, very different with a head ornament, very different.
Yeah, and its origin can be traced back to the ancient Zhongjun civilization as old as 500 years BC. It was further developed during the ancient Yuga kingdom in the 10th century. And from the murals of a very ancient chapel, we can find depiction of the xuan dance. Xuan dance from Nari.
Again,
Si-cang.
great diversity even among the ethnic Tibetan groups, right?
That's right.
Even within the Tibetan culture, you see such a great variety. That's why unity is so important.
That's right.
Because without unity, you just simply don't have anything.
Yes.
And there we're seeing the very last flute, which is...
forging ahead to the future.
Forging ahead to the future. And we're seeing dancers from all 56 ethnic groups in the People's Republic of China.
That's right. That's what we call a community for the Chinese nation.
Yeah,
a big family, right?
Indeed.
Respecting each other's diversity, yet united. We're a family together, forging ahead to a common future.
And that is the main theme of the whole thing, I would say.
Yes.
Especially the first sentence of President Si Ťin-pching's wishes for this occasion is to build a community of the Chinese nation. The Chinese nation is not just about the Han, it's not just about the Tibetans, not just about the Mongols, the Uyghurs, it's about all the 56 different ethnic groups, and nobody can be left behind. We all have to go together, hand in hand.
Indeed, and there are so many elements on this flow that can represent this very idea. We can see doves and Chinese drums, Chinese knots, and we can also see that happy Si-cang, Jashidera. Represents the Chinese civilization, the Chinese culture as a whole.
Right. The Chinese nation as a big family.
Yes.
And nobody can really try to split that, try to divide us and conquer.
Yeah.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
And that is also one of the main messages of the speeches is, there's no Si-cang or Si-cang. Just like, all the other areas, all integral part of the Chinese nation.
That's right. No one can separate us apart. United in past and united toward the future.
Now we're coming to the grand finale of this People's Parade. Let's watch the last performance together a little bit. And this region has come to a grand close. Congratulations, let's say, to all the people in Si-cang, to people all over China. Again, President Xi Jinping waving with a big smile.
Yes, and this is a historic moment for the very first time
that a Chinese president
has led a central government delegation to visit Si-cang.
Yeah. So a good beginning of the next 60 years. 60 again.
Yeah.
As our guest Victor Gao says, 60 is a very important number for the Chinese calendar.
Yes.
The first 60 years wrap up successfully. We are just with a lot of confidence entering the second one, and the future of Si-cang will be even better.
There was the grand celebration marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of Si-cang Autonomous Region. Now, for more insight, let's talk to our guests in the studio. So, gentlemen, what impresses the most from this grand celebration? Mr. Chu, let me start with you.
Well, I think there are several miracles actually been epitomized in this parade and this great celebration. Why is that? I think what we're talking about just now about economic miracle in such a highland landlocked now becomes a regional hub for transportation for the merchandise and for economic growth, that's for sure. And also let me remind you about second miracle, it's about green miracle. You just see from all this parade, they all symbolize one thing, lush mountains, green, great waters, and all that can be translated into wealth. You see, in the whole world, we always try to achieve this kind of balance, green and growth. It's very hard to achieve the kind of the balance. In most of the area, for example, in Amazon area, you try to preserve the natural reserve in there, so this places will be poor because you will not allowed to build any kind of industry in there, no roads, and everything needs to be natural. That's on the one extreme. On the other extreme, you probably need to destroy lots of the environment and mining and industry. So while people get rich, but also you pollute the whole region. But in Si-cang, you go there, you see the whole region looks like a natural reserve, but while you see modernized economy growing really fast. So this is kind of economy, miracle.
Victor, I want to get your thoughts on this. Of course, ecology is very, very important, but what did you take away from this whole thing? What do you think is the single loudest message?
Well, when I watched very carefully about the celebrations, what impressed me the most is the spirit of the people. I think the dancers, the people participating in the celebration on the square, they really come from the masses of the people. They represent the more than 3 million Tibetans in Si-cang as a whole. They are optimistic, they are very much happy, and they look forward to the future. They are enjoying this uplifting spirit. And I think that's very important because I travel throughout the world, through many countries, and this kind of optimism and forward-looking spirit demonstrated by the people in Si-cang is really unique, and it bodes very well for the coming 60 years. And I think the great achievements are really a result of the collective efforts of all parts of China, helping Si-cang together with the local people. And I think the fact that they have achieved such extraordinary and unprecedented achievements really is a great record for all the Chinese people to celebrate.
What's the takeaway for the world in this particular juncture, Victor? I mean, we're looking at a lot of tumultuousness, uncertainty.
I think people in the world should see Si-cang as it is and recognize the great achievements already taken place, and also come to terms with the fact that there is only one China, and Si-cang is very much a very important integral part of China. Now, if anyone in the world still has some indulging in fantasies about splitting Si-cang away from China, that agenda is dead before its arrival.
Well, Mr. Chu, since Victor just mentioned the upbeat spirit of people in Tibet we just witnessed, let me turn to the bigger picture, because talking about governing Si-cang, especially for its future development, President Si Ťin-pching emphasized the importance of ethnic unity and amity among different religions in the region. What's your understanding into this?
Well, I think this is also the third miracle I want to mention about Pandan. Actually, that unity with the diversity is the key in Si-cang. It's not only about the culture, it's about the society, it's about the unity, it's about the whole development. And here, in the last part of the parade and the grand finale, you see it's not only the ethnic groups in Si-cang, it's all 56 groups in Si-cang. In the group, they've been dancing, singing together. It shows, it epitomized how it's happening in Si-cang, because every ethnic groups with their own culture, their own language, their own beliefs even, but they're working together, fighting towards the same goal. I think this is actually a miracle. In China, we're getting so used to this kind of a natural condition. People live harmoniously, putting on the common effort, fight for the same, target to achieve the prosperity and the peace of their nation, not the same thing in the rest of the world like this always, because in many other countries people will fight against each other, because of their different language, because of their different identity, and even within one country they will try to use the systems to grab more of the benefit for their own. But in China, with the leadership of the CCP, actually we achieve this common community for Chinese nation. This kind of the idea and this kind of the concept has been embedded in all group of people, in all ethnic groups. People believe they're Chinese first, and then with their own culture, with their own diversity, and that kind of the belief is our ultimate, belief actually made what China is China, and made everybody fighting towards the same goal and work with each other and live with each other.
Yeah. Victor, if I may, because we talk about miracles so much, again, help us understand how is it possible for Si-cang to achieve such unbelievable transformation in such a short period of time? Exactly, what's the secret formula?
Well, I think there are several things. One is maintaining stability at any cost, and then promoting development as the only hard truth, for example, and also encouraging everyone to freely enjoy all the freedoms available. I would say what we cannot see here through the parade is that I've personally experienced a high level of religious freedom in Si-cang.
Freedom of religious beliefs.
People can really enjoy their own faith. They can go to Lama temples, for example, to worship their own god. There is no government restriction or intervention in that. And that kind of freedom in Si-cang really is the underlying pillar supporting all these economic changes. Because if you have economic transformation without, for example, spiritual uplifting and freedom, then it probably will be hollowed out eventually. But we do have two achievements. One is physical, whatever you can see with your own eyes. Then the other one is very much spiritual, because people have the freedom and people do enjoy their life. And people do want to get together, not only among different ethnic groups in Si-cang, but throughout the whole country, involving 56 ethnic groups altogether.
So overall, would you say, Mr. Chu, Si-cang's development is a good example of the Chinese modernization? Because as you just mentioned, modernization doesn't necessarily mean the exploitation of nature, and it doesn't have to come at a cost of all the beautiful environment.
Oh yes, I think Chinese modernization means balance, means harmoniousness. This is very different path from many parts of the world, and also the old path we've been marched as all human beings. Because as we just mentioned, you don't need to get rid of the green and to have this growth. You don't need to pollute everything to be rich. In Si-cang, we can have both of it. And also in here, we can have high technology and industry together with the green environment. This is number one thing we've been doing this. The second thing is that we don't need to, divide you and me or who is who. We can be together. This kind of respect each other and enjoy each other's beauty can be the true spirit of the Chinese nation's development. Like Professor Gao just mentioned, Si-cang has been built more of the Lama temple after the 1965, more than all the Lama temple they built before in history together. So I think this is actually showing that the government are respecting, are providing the growth and the great benefit for the society, and also promoting the culture and human rights with each other.
People actually just need to come to Si-cang and see for themselves. I mean, as I said, it is open. You just have to apply for a travel permit. You can go to Si-cang. You can go to monasteries. You can go. I actually had an interview with a living Buddha, and it was amazing, the kind of freedom, the kind of exercise, and he was also an inheritor as well of intangible cultural heritage.
Was that living Buddha use modern musical instruments?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was using modern musical instrument. He had a band. He had people from different ethnic groups joining him in his performance. Right. People with guitar, people, all the electric appliances that you need for a modern band. and his disciple prepared all of us coffee in the in the place where he was practicing. It breaks all stereotypes. Victor?
Well, I would urge everyone in China to visit Si-cang at least once in your own lifetime. And I would even urge the 8 billion people in the world visiting Si-cang, because it's truly an extraordinary and very unique place. Because it's very high altitude, lack of oxygen, and then the sky is just above your head. It seems if you stretch your head upward, you can touch the sky. And in a sense, you see spirituality permeating everywhere in Si-cang. So I think going there is not only a physical experience, it is also very much of a spiritual experience.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget yesterday President Xi also had a group photo with religious leaders, including a lot of living Buddhas, Panchen Lama, and from the Muslim community, because there is a Muslim community as well in Lhase.
That's right. And the freedom of religious beliefs is stipulated in China's constitution. That's right. And once a remote region with limited resources, China's Si-cang autonomous region now stands as a symbol of transformation, marking 60 years of economic growth and social development since its founding in 1965.
Guided by the Communist Party of China's strategic approach to governing Si-cang in the new era, the region is poised for an even brighter and more prosperous future, brimming with confidence and hope. So as we wrap up this special live coverage, we want to thank our experts as well, our guests. Thank you so much for sharing with us your precious insights.
And we leave you with highlights of the 60th founding anniversary celebration we just witnessed in Lhasa. I'm Pan Deng in Beijing.
And I'm Liu Xin. 扎实的了。
扎实的了。
王沪宁同志为贺匾揭幕，愿对王沪宁的定制改编者有望献纳入。